Alright folks, this is it. This is Charles Mosiah Annual Bike Race. This is the 10th edition of this bike race. He has been hosting this event for 10 years in a row. A big shout out to Mr. Charles Mosiah, his wife Lupe, and Mike G. A big shout out to my driver, Mr. Carl Arnold, who provided a very safe driver. A big shout out to Mr. Kente Gomez, who's one of the officials of this bike race and played a very important role. We have just left 132nd and Van Ness, and we are northbound towards Central Boulevard. Those that are familiar with this bike race know that there's a hill by the name of Shabby Hill, and these guys must climb before they get to Central Boulevard. These guys know it, and they're on the gas from the start. This is always a fun race as we race on public streets, and the streets are not closed to us most of the time. This race was epic this year. There's a slight separation starting to form from the front of this peloton with the rear of the peloton. As we see, these guys are on the gas and they're opening a slight separation. As we see, the rider in the Belizean kit move to the rear of the peloton as he appears to be struggling a bit. Yes folks, there's a slight separation with the front of the peloton and the rear of the peloton. As we see the Belizean rider here struggle a bit and open a gap between himself and the rear of the peloton. These guys are heavy on the gas, folks. These guys are heavy on the gas, folks, as the front of the peloton is trying to establish a gap. But this is a very special and unique type of race. As I mentioned earlier, we must sometimes respect traffic laws. So there are red lights in this race, and the red light gives the opportunity to the rider to catch his breath, get a drink of water, and recompose. So this is a very unique race. We're heading northbound on Van Ness Boulevard and we're quickly approaching Shabby Hill. It appears that the guys are slowing down. There may be a red light in the distance. The red light is going to allow everybody to regroup, to catch their breath, get a drink of water, and recompose. And yes, folks, it looks like that is exactly what is happening as everybody is regrouping here at the light. Yes, folks, everybody is going to regroup at the red light. But I can assure you that the attack is coming. The riders know it. They can feel it. They know an attack is going to come. And they can feel it. Here we go, folks. The light turns green as we inch our way closer and closer to Shabby Hill. The riders know that one of them will launch a vicious attack up Shabby Hill. They know it. They can feel it. They are waiting for it. Alright folks, we're going to take this time to recognize some of the big name riders that are riding in the peloton today. First rider we're going to recognize is no stranger to the limelight and is no other than Ron Vasquez. He has won this race in the past. The second rider we're going to recognize is quickly becoming a household name in cycling, and he is no other than Tevin Tasha from the G4 cycling team. The third rider we're going to recognize is also quickly becoming a household name. He is no other than Jose, riding for the Lux Bike Shop cycling team. Oh, but he is not alone. Jose brought his teammate and sprinter David. David is riding for the Lux Bike Shop cycling team, and he is a force to be reckoned with. Next rider we're going to acknowledge is Ricky Gray, who I believe has placed in the top 3 in this race before. Alright folks, the race is about to get interesting as we can see Shabby Hill in the distance. These riders know it. They know that an attack is about to come. They can feel it. The peloton is all together, at least for now. As my driver now speeds up so we can capture the top of the hill, the peloton is all together at least for now. You can see Shabby Hill in the distance, and we're speeding off to catch the top of the hill. This is Shabby Hill. We're gonna pull over to the first light, and usually if you can pass this light first, you're in a good position. It's hard for anybody to pass you. You can see Charles White is at the light waiting. I kind of stumble a bit, fall, get up, I'm embarrassed. What's up, Charles? Carl, what's up? I kind of failed, my bad, Carl. That was embarrassing. I laughed it off. Ken Gomez pulls up, but I can feel that these guys are coming. I know they're coming. So I run across the light. I'm looking back, I can't see them yet. I know they're gonna come up fast. I know, I wait across the light because I know this is the spot. If you can make it up here, it's all down, pretty much downhill from here. And who's it gonna be? Who's gonna be the first guy? I can see them. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. I can feel it. I can feel it. They're coming. They're coming. I'm running. They're coming. I'm getting excited. They're coming. Who is it? Who's the first guy? Who's the first rider? It's no other than JR. JR from PMA Cycling with Ron Vasquez and Jose riding for Lux Bike Shop. These guys were the first guys up Shabby Hill, and they were pretty much neck and neck. These guys are no joke. The three big guns of the peloton are climbing together. This is exciting, folks. This is exciting. And they have shed some guys. And we're gonna see these guys right now. And these guys are struggling to climb Shabby Hill. And the big guns have put the hammer down. And these guys better catch up. Ride pulls up. I gotta get back on. Thank you, Mr. Carr. And now we're gonna play catch up. Because these guys have climbed Shabby Hill. And now they are descending. And if they catch that light is crucial on Century. If you can catch that light, the race is over pretty much. That could be the winning move that goes. Let's see what happens. And the three riders are Mr. Bana from Bana Bill, Kenny from Natural Mystic, and Gigla riding for Bana Bill Cycling Team. They have missed the light and now they are caught up at Century. They have caught the red light, and that has caused a separation between themselves and the peloton, and we have caught that light as well, and they look disappointed. But this is what I'm talking about. This could be the winning move, and the light turns green and we speed off, and now we're playing catch up, and we're traveling Van Ness northbound, and these guys gotta work together to catch up to the front group. If not, they are never going to see the peloton again, because the peloton is going to keep it steady. So those guys need to work together. We now reach Van Ness and Manchester. Got another red light. And this is what I'm talking about, folks. It's hard for you to get away right here because of all these lights. But if you can make it across a light, then you have that advantage. Right now we're playing catch up. We're traveling Van Ness up northbound towards Washington Boulevard. We finally catch up to the peloton. The first rider we see is Two Pants. Two Pants also rides for the Natural Mystic Cycling Team. You can see that he has a teammate that looks like Charles Anderson in front of him. Charles Anderson rides for the Natural Mystic Cycling Team. We can see Sobe riding in the Vanderbilt Cycling Team kit. And these guys are traveling Arlington northbound. We're heading Washington. We're gonna make a ride on Washington, and it's kind of hard for these guys to get away here because there's too many lights. So the peloton is together at this point. We just passed Arlington and Florence Avenue, northbound. It's in Charles Anderson from Natural Mystic, 2 Pants from Natural Mystic cycling team, and these guys are holding the back door. But this is a downhill, so these guys, the peloton is gonna stay together. It's hard to create separation because it's pretty much downhill. Shabby Hill was pretty much the hardest point of this race on this street, at least I think. And Charles Anderson has caught another red light. I spoke too soon, and Charles Anderson from Natural Mystic catches a red light. I know it's green and he is on the gas, but there is no a slight separation between himself and the peloton. I know we're playing catch up. Once again, we're trying to catch up to the peloton as my driver speeds up to catch up to the peloton. And this is where it starts to get interesting, folks. Look what happens now. Once we pass Lawson, it starts to get interesting, folks. The race is gonna get only faster and faster, and this is how I believe these guys broke the record. Is now we're gonna stop. They're gonna start stopping the red lights. Watch what happens now. These guys are gonna stop the traffic for the riders to go. Watch what this guy does. Yes, sir. And we proceed. Big shout out to the PMA cycling team who have strong numbers in the peloton. The peloton today is packed with horsepower. There's a lot of big names. Roy Longford, J.R. Bradley, Andre Perez, Trevon Salazar, Philip, Coach. All these guys ride for the PMA cycling team and are all powerhouses. We're now traveling Arlington northbound towards Washington Boulevard. And now the race is going to get very interesting. These guys are going to stop the red lights so the riders can ride through. And it's like something I've never seen before. And it turns into like an alley cat type of race, basically. But very fun. And I know that had these guys adrenaline pumping. And these guys were enjoying every minute of it as they were racing down the streets of Los Angeles. And they felt they got the presidential treatment. And big shout out to Kente Gomez for treating these guys like president, giving them the presidential treatment, treating them like celebrities, closing the streets of Los Angeles for these riders. As we see, 2 Pants and Charles Anderson are struggling a bit to hold on to this pace, and we can see another Vanderbilt cyclist rider as we see Steve Miguel riding in his Belize jersey, Andre from PMA, Edward Banner from the Natural Mystic cycling team, Trevon Salazar from the PMA cycling team, Gregor Longford from the PMA cycling team, Philip Coach Kaka from the PMA cycling team, Kenny from the Natural Mystic Cycling Team, Art from the Natural Mystic Cycling Team. As we see, Tevin Tasha, the only G4 rider in this race today, riding solo and will catch one other red light, but that doesn't matter because these guys are getting the presidential treatment today. As we see Sobe in his Vanderbilt jersey, and Charles Anderson closes the gap to Steve Miguel in his Belize jersey, and Steve Miguel is on Andre Perez from the PMA cycling team wheel. As we can see, Sobe a little bit ahead of Andre. Sobe riding in his Vanderbilt cycling team jersey. He catch another red light. The red light helps everybody regroup. These guys have to at least slow down. And Two Pants is struggling a bit. Two Pants from the Natural Mystic cycling team is struggling a bit. And we see Sobe opening a bit of a gap. And I believe that was Gordon Tillett. I was riding in front of him trying to pace him back to the peloton. As my driver picks up the pace, we see Edward Banner from the Natural Mystic cycling team, Tevin Tasher, Jose from the Lux Bike Shop, Ron Vasquez. These guys look strong. Look at them. These guys are powerhouses. 2 diesel engine and Tevin Tasher following close behind. This race is being run by diesel engine. And we can see Andre and Trevon from the PMA cycling team just chilling in the back with Charles Henderson. It's a Sunday stroll for these guys. As we see Big Boy in his Vanderbilt sitting down pretty. We can see Kenny from the Natural Mystic, just Sunday stroll for Kenny. And we see Iron Man, just Sunday stroll. Iron Man is competing in the Masters category and he looks as fresh as he just came out of a shower. He is just out for a Sunday stroll. Edward Banner from the Natural Mystic team is in front of him and he looks just as good. He is sitting pretty. We can see Steve Miguel sitting down, just taking on all the draft. Steve Miguel, he is just riding in the back, chilling. We see Andre from the PMA cycling team. And we can see Dion from the Natural Mystic cycling team gets up off his saddle and 1-2s his pedal across the light. And there have been some guys have got dropped. 3 guys did not make the light and they got caught at the light. And Steve Miguel closes the door and Dion says yes sir. And Andre from the PMA cycling team bridges that gap to Charles Anderson from the Natural Mystic cycling team. And the group is back together -3. The guys are quickly approaching the second hill in this bike race. The second hill is Arlington and Adams, and it's not as big as Shabby Hill, but you can definitely put some legs to the test. And the guys are definitely gonna take advantage, and they are racing up this hill, and they are racing up Arlington and Adams Hills, and they are stretching it out. They are stretching it out. They are testing the legs out. And these guys are racing up. As we see Dion gets up with the 1-2 off his saddle. Trevon makes it look easy as he bridges across. And Art is with the front group. And Trevon makes it across the light and gets on Tevin Tasher's wheel. Roy Longford gets up off his saddle. 1-2 stays on Jose's wheel. Jose is on JR's wheel. JR makes it look easy. Looks over, flicks the elbow over for Jose to close that gap. Ricky Gray has opened a slight gap between himself and the back group. Andre from PMA bridges across as they slow down for a red light. Have they caught the red light? No, no red light. These guys are getting the presidential treatment. They have stopped the light for them as Art bridges across, and they are quickly about to catch Washington Boulevard, and Ron Vasquez is still at the front applying the pressure. Ron Vasquez stays on the gas, folks. Ron Vasquez stays on the gas, and he's going to be the first rider to turn right on to Washington. And Ron Vasquez has a heavy foot on the gas, and Ron Vasquez is applying the pressure, and Tevin Tasha moves up, and Ron Vasquez is applying the pressure. And Ron Vasquez has made that right, and he's the first rider to make the ride on to Washington Boulevard, and he stays on the gas. And we can see Iron Man, and he gets up off his saddle with the 1-2. And Ron Vasquez has a heavy foot on the gas, but Tevin Tasha is paying attention, and so is Roy Langford from the PMA cycling team. These guys are applying the pressure. Ron Vasquez stays on the front. He looks back. He cranks it up. Ron Vasquez is a diesel engine. He can go, and he cannot be underestimated. Ron Vasquez looks back. He sees Tevin Tasha on his wheel. He flicks the elbow. Tevin Tasha says, "Sure, I'll come. No problem." Roy Langford from PMA is paying close attention and quickly moves up with Jose on his wheel. And Ron Vasquez looks over and gets on Jose's wheel. It's on the stroll for Trevon as he closes the gap with ease, with Ricky Gray on his wheel. JR paying close attention with David from Lux Bike Shop on his wheel, and Andre from PMA is out for a Sunday stroll. Art from Natural Mystic paying close attention. Ron Vasquez is once again trying to separate himself from these guys, and he's off the front, and it's pedal to the metal with this guy. He is heavy on the gas as he tries to make a break for it. Ron Vasquez is a big diesel engine, so he will go. But David from the Lux Bike Shop cycling team says, "Not without me," and bridges across with ease, bringing the rest of the guys with him. And now the group is back together. Grupo Compacto. We're approaching Washington Boulevard and Normandy Avenue. The Natural Mystic rider here we see is no other than Charles Anderson, clawing his way back to the front group. Charles Anderson from the Natural Mystic cycling team. Here we see these guys approach a red light, but remember folks, these guys are getting the presidential treatment, so there are no red lights today. The red lights are being stopped for them. We see Charles Anderson loses a water bottle, and my driver instructs me to collect the water bottle for him, and I do this to help out a fellow rider and a fellow racer, because we know how it is to lose your stuff.